In today's video, I have the absolute pleasure of hosting the Kenyan American home. He is a well known Kenyan content creator with 84,000 subscribers on YouTube, and recently his TikTok account hit over 400,000 followers. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome the Kenyan American home to the show. Karibu
Asante
sana.
sana. Oh, thank you for having me.
Congratulations, Maze, on all the progress on your content.
Yeah. Now I still think of myself as an ordinary guy, Maze. Me, I'm just here trying to help people come to the US and Canada. Trying to help people come to the US and Canada. Yeah. But
Nice.
otherwise, for my people, the Kenyan American home up AV Mazena, welcome to this live. Welcome. I'm excited to be hosted by you, Lucy.
Thank you so much for accepting
Yeah.
my invitation. I know we are busy. I know there's so much going on in life, and for you to accept my invitation to come to my show, I appreciate that. Let's quickly talk about your immigration. What brought you to the US and how was that for you?
Ah, so yeah, I mean, I grew up in poverty. I'm always proud to share my story. I always proud to share my story. Came from a really humble background. Really struggled. There was an organization that came into my life and kind of helped me through making sure that I, went to school, and just like everybody, every little boy or girl that is trapped in poverty, I wanted to get out of that. I wanted to be the first one to break out of the generational cycle of poverty, which is always hard if you're the first one. Hey, pioneers, uh, wanting to break out the, that's
Yeah.
it's hard. It's hard. So we fought, and so for me, I was staying home. I had struggled my whole life in Kenya, grown up in poverty, and then the whole thing about you're lucky enough to go to school, and then you go to school and there's so many people who are out there unemployed. And so for me, my prayer was always, man, I hope when I graduate, I will not tarmac as much as the people who tarmac, because there's a lot of people who have degrees, they have bachelor's degrees, but they're looking for jobs and they don't have any jobs. And so I went to the University of Nairobi. I did my bachelor's degree in accounting, so BCom accounting. And so I always tell this story, but like I used to go to JCC, Jubilee Christian Church, and there was this one particular Sunday that I went to church, and what I had done is my 4 years, my school time, I had saved money. I'm an accountant, so we save. So I had saved enough money to help me tarmac after I finish university. And so I had this money that was saved up, and I was so excited that, hey, by the time I knew, so this money was going to help me pay rent and fare to take my CV to offices, day in and day out. But yeah, when I went to church that day, I don't remember what the preaching was, but there was a prompting that, like from God, that, hey, you've put so much faith in that little money that you have, that it's gonna help you tarmac and get a job. And it kind of felt like God was asking me, hey, so who's your faith in? That little money that you have, or me? And it was like, hey, if show me that you put your faith in me. And you know what that meant.
Mhm.
It meant go to the ATM, withdraw everything, withdraw
Yes.
all, come
Yes.
bring it, put it on the altar. And crazily, that is what I did. I withdrew all my savings and I put it on the altar. And by the time I was getting out of church, I was like, I have no idea what I just did. I don't know if it's like the most stupidest thing you can ever do, especially as an accountant with a working brain. You just, all your savings, you've just went and put it on the altar. And I
Mhm.
did. I walked out of the church. I was very confused. And right then and there, someone just came to me, said, hey, I didn't tell them anything. They were like, hey, let me come buy you tea. So they bought me tea and mandazi. And we were talking, and then this guy gave me a 1,000 Kenya shillings.
I
And I'm
love
like, I have not told him anything. So I don't know what that was. To me, it kind of felt like it's a God moment. You've just put all your money on the altar, and then you're coming out. And so, yeah, so he gave me 1,000. And crazy thing, like all these opportunities seemed to pop up after that day. I didn't struggle. But then the crazy thing is, by the time I was graduating university, so I graduated university on December 5th, 2009. I think, if I can remember, that's so many years back. But like December 14th, I was on the plane to the United States of America to do my master's degree.
Wow.
So talk about not stomaching. It's like God, when God asked me that, and I'm like, I did it. I did not stomach. It was just finish school, get on a plane, go to America, start life. And I'm like, wow, a young 23-year-old young man, set out on a plane to change not only his life, but also, his family's life. And that's really my story, is I think really motivated by poverty to get out of poverty, but also to try and help my family out of poverty.
So how did you get here? What kind of visa did you use?
Yeah. So I think a lot of people are always confused because I talk about a lot of visas, but I came to the US with a student visa.
Okay.
Came to the US with a student visa. I got a scholarship in North Dakota State University. And that is, that's how I came. I came as a non-degree.
Okay.
Non-degree student, which non-degree student, that means you haven't declared any degree that you're going to do. And so one of the things that the school, when they sent me the I-20 and we were communicating over email, they did not think I was going to get the visa because, like, how are you coming to the US to study on a non-degree basis where you can choose one degree and go with it? And so that was in the email. They said you're highly likely not to get a visa. So so you're getting bad news from the school that's sending me the I-20.
Right.
And then here I am. Oh, let me tell you. So when you're in poverty, my friend, you will knock so many doors, Aki, and ask for help. And people will shut the door on you. So I got admitted to this school. It's like I got all these well-wishers who would chip in and send me money and stuff. And so when I got my I-20 and I was getting ready for my interview, and I knew very well, hey, I need a bank statement because I need to go to the embassy and show them that I can be able to afford to pay for school. Man, I knocked on doors, like some of the prominent people in my community that I knew, and they all shut the door in my face. It's like I would go, hey, I have this opportunity. Are you able to help me with, your bank statement and write me an affidavit, man. They, like, all the doors I knocked, nobody. It's like, wow. And I'm thinking, man, I'm not even asking for money. I'm asking for
the paper statement. Yeah.
Just a little help to, help me get out of this poverty thing. So like 3 days before my interview, I did not have a bank statement. And then, so I didn't grow up with my dad, who's since passed away. And I just reached out to him and I'm like, hey, are you able to help me with a bank statement? And, I don't know what he does. And he said, yes. He said, yes. And I'm like, oh, I was so happy that somebody finally came through for me. And then, so that was 3 days. Like, I collected the bank statement the day before I went for my interview. So I go collect my bank statement from my dad, and he gives me this envelope. It's very promising. So I'm really excited because, hey, at least I'm gonna go to the embassy with with my dad's bank statement, and then I proceeded to open the brown envelope and look inside, and there's 3 pages of the bank statement, and I look at the transactions that are going in there. It's like 100 bob here, 1,000 there, and then I look at the account balance, 15,000 Kenya shillings, and
Wow.
I was like, God, what? What kind of a joke are you playing? And I'm like, okay. But that was the only thing I had. And, I'm like, hey, I'm going to go to that embassy and I'm going to get my visa.
That's it.
I was high on faith. I was high
Yeah.
on, it doesn't matter whether I'm non-degree. It doesn't matter whether I don't have a strong bank statement. I'm going to go to that embassy and I'm going to get my visa. Yeah. That's how I did. Woke up early in the morning, went queued, and you go through the processes of checking in, and man, and then that was back way back in the days. I think they hadn't developed the embassy as much as they've done right now, and so wow, yeah. So you're waiting there, and then they're calling people. People are getting. So there was this lady that we were seated next to. So we've been friends since coming to the US. I'm not gonna say her name. Her name is Miss J. So we're seated here, and the people who are in front of us, I mean, they're going. It's like pink slip, and it's like, wow, is it Valentine's Day? Because like nobody was given before
Pink is
us.
bad. Pink is bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pink slip means try again another day.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like I'm unfortunately I cannot give you a visa to the US right now. Try again another day. Hey, I'm wondering, did we come on Valentine's Day here? And hey, these people are going with like this huge bank, it's like envelopes, and they open, because someone gets ready, they're taking out their envelopes, and they have these huge bank statements, and I'm thinking, oh, Jehovah is God. My bank statement is only 3 pages. Only 15,000 would not even buy me enough suitcases to pack my clothes to go to the US. Yeah. So I was called, and I'm like, it's me. It's showtime.
Let's go.
It's showtime. I was like, I saw all those pink slips, and I think, the lady that was seated next to me went to like the same counter, like the next counter, and I was here, and I'm like, man, this is showtime. This is me out of poverty. I need to grab this opportunity, and I need to grab it. I need to grab it by its horns.
Once, yeah.
Yeah, and I pounced on the first when when the consul asked me the question, "What is the purpose of your visit to the U.S.?" Man, I pounced on that. I gave him my story of poverty and overcoming poverty, and why I really wanted to go and study. Is because I was passionate. I'm gonna go, study accounting, get the specialized skills and all that. But really, my goal is to take my family out of poverty. I just, I told him, for some reason, he gave me time to speak.
Oh,
It's like I knew, however this interview goes, I cannot get him to ask the question about how are you going to sponsor yourself.
yes.
So I knew my story. And back in the day, they didn't have content creators who would, who would kind of guide you on what to say, what not to say, and stuff like that. I just knew my strongest point is I knew I had so many weak things. My ties were very weak. I was a young man. Bank statement of 15,000 Kenya shillings, no kids. I'm like, and then non-degree. I have so many things that are playing against me. But I knew the things that are playing for me is my story, and I need to tell my story. And that guy gave me time to tell my story.
Good.
So, I painted the story of how much I had suffered in Kenya and why I was so passionate about going and studying, getting the specialized specialized training in accounting in the US, and then coming back, hopefully working for multinational corporations, land there. And I had Googled some things. I knew there was a US gap that was way different than any other thing. But so by the time I was finishing that first question, I could tell this guy, he was like teary-eyed.
Oh.
Like, yeah, it's like this young man is so determined to change not only his life but his family's life. And then he goes on to ask me, "Hey, why non-degree?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, we're heading there." I am like, he asked me that, and so I told him non-degree because I haven't decided. I'm torn between finance and accounting, and I think I'm gonna take that first semester to take different courses in finance and accounting, and then by the end of that semester, I'm gonna declare whether I want to go into accounting or whether I want to go into finance. Okay, and then the next thing I hear is congratulations, come for your visa on Thursday. That was back in the day when we used to
Nice.
go. We used to
Nice.
go there. Yeah. And
What?